Hi, it's Therese. Today we are speaking about IELTS listening. There are 4 sections in the listening exam in IELTS. And by the way, whether you're doing academic or general IELTS, the listening is exactly the same. In section 1, you'll hear 2 people talking. So it'll be a social conversation. Normally the topics will be college or work or studies. You might hear a lot of dates, times, letters. And in section 2, you'll hear a monologue. So you'll hear one person talking, maybe describing a location or describing a country or a region. So a general topic. In section 3, you will hear 4 people speaking on an academic topic. So at that point, you'll hear more voices, probably male, female voices, different accents. And in section 4, you'll hear a lecture on an academic topic. So a lot of people find section 4 the most challenging because it's more technical, it's not a general subject. So in terms of time, you have 30 minutes in listening. So the time is quite intense, and you'll have 1 minute at the beginning to read the questions. So you'll be given the context of the listening, 1 minute break to read the questions. So make sure you do read the questions in advance. And of course, it's good to understand the types of questions that you will hear, and we'll go into that in a little bit more detail. The band scores for listening, the same for academic in general. 40 questions, you get 1 mark for each correct answer. Your score is converted to 9 band, but not in an exact way. So for example, you get 16 out of 40, you're in band score 5. 23, band score 6, 30, band score 7, 35, band score 8. And you're given that band score for listening. So again, that's just a rough estimate. It can often depend on the complexity of the listening exam, but that's a general estimate. Types of questions in listening: completing a form, note, summary, flowchart, or table, short answer questions, sentence completion, labeling a map, plan, or diagram, matching, multiple choice. So in order to tackle those types of questions, there are a number of skills that you need to develop. You need to understand the context, to identify speakers and categories, to understand paraphrase, to know what a distractor is, to understand position and direction in a map and in a process, and of course to understand the speaker's opinion, suggestions, or decision, identify the main idea and details of a lecture, and understand numbers and letters. So those are the top skills that you can develop to prepare for the listening exam. To understand the context, not so difficult, because when the listening begins, you're given the context. So normally you'll hear something like, you will hear a man and a woman speaking about college courses. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5. So you already know the context from the beginning of the listening. After the introduction, you'll have a short time to read the questions. So use this time between the introduction and the listening test to read and study the questions so that you know what to answer. Identifying speakers. Practice listening to different accents. Here are 2 websites, BBC website and TED. They will really help to adapt your ear to different accents. Identifying categories. If you have a table in listening, read the headings on the top and read the headings on the left first before you listen to the audio so you know what to listen for. How do you recognize paraphrase? By identifying synonyms or words with the same meaning. So often ideas are repeated or paraphrased in listening. So for example, we hear a man in the audio say, "I'm thinking about changing my job." And then in the question, we read A, the man is considering changing his work. B, the man is thinking about his job. C, the man will change his job. So what do you think is the best answer? What is the man saying? Answer A is correct. So the man is considering, he's thinking about. Consider is a synonym for think about. Number B and number C are what we call distractors. They look similar, they sound similar, but they're not the correct answer. So what is a distractor? It's an answer that sounds correct or might be correct, but it's not. So if I say to you about a meeting, let's have our meeting today at 8:30. Did I say A, 8:30, B, 8:13, or 9:30? I think you know the answer. It's 8:30. So the distractor is 8:13 because it sounds similar, and 9:30 is simply incorrect. You may have a map or plan question, so you need to understand position and the vocabulary for directions. So as you listen to a map, you'll mark the way with a highlighter or with a pen as you listen. This will help you. And again, watch out for distractors such as references during the listening to other buildings or other information not related. For process, you might often get a flow chart or a process. So you might hear typical words like turn, hold, pull, push, rotate, and you'll hear a lot of prepositions. So it's good to learn your prepositions of place, around, inside, upside down, through, along. Very important. And of course, last but not least, dates, letters, and numbers. Practice your letters in the English alphabet, A, B, C, D. I know it's very basic, but it comes up a lot in IELTS. The same with times, dates, figures. These are details, but the little details make a big difference. A warning, in IELTS listening, the speaker often changes his or her mind, so they might change the date, time, or location of something. So listen actively for any changes you might hear during the audio. So that's it, everyone, for the listening exam. Make sure that you keep practicing. Listen to podcasts. You can find lots of great presentations on TED.com and also on BBC Learning English, YouTube channels, of course. Keep listening to different accents, male and female registers, and good luck. I hope you do great in your IELTS exam. Thanks for watching. Bye.